You lie there, still holding on to the quiet weight of yesterday. The way you said something too sharp when it wasn't needed. How you didn't text back right away. How your hands stayed in your pockets even when someone offered a smile. Maybe you've been wondering why sleep won't come tonight, or if this is what it feels like to be awake long after the world has turned down its lights. You're not alone in that, and it's okay that you're still here. Just lying with eyes closed, breathing slowly, letting your body settle into the shape of rest without forcing anything. This isn't a fix for anything. It won't erase what happened or rewrite what was said. But there is room here, not to solve, not to rethink, but simply to be held by the quiet. Your shoulders are lowering now. You're sinking into the bed as if it knows you've been carrying things all day. The air feels cooler near your neck, and you notice how one hand rests flat on your stomach while the other lies still at your side, fingers slightly curled. Sleep researchers have found that when thoughts begin to drift apart, the way they do just before sleep, your brain starts making connections not in logic but in sensation. It doesn't need a story. It doesn't care about cause or consequence. The mind turns loose and begins noticing things on their own terms. The texture of fabric, the faint sound behind walls, the weight of stillness. This session is built on that. It's not meant to be an act of will. There's no way to do it wrong, only a rhythm of letting go, one small image at a time, never held too long, never followed too closely. Each thing you see in your mind is like a pebble dropped into water. Ripples spread outward and then fade. You don't need to catch them. This is not medical advice. It's not therapy or diagnosis. If insomnia has been constant for weeks, if it drains your days with fatigue, please reach out to someone who can help you through this. Not just the quiet moments, but the deeper patterns beneath. But tonight, you're here for something simpler, a way to ease into rest without fighting. The mind settles when it stops trying to stay in control. When you stop asking questions like why or what if, and instead let yourself be guided by what's already there. The hum of silence, the warmth under your skin, the way your breath moves without effort. You're closer than you think to sleep's edge. What happens next is not a method, it's a permission. A soft invitation that you don't need to understand every thought or fix any part of yesterday. You can just let it go, like setting down an object you've been carrying too long. And then another, and another. No order required, no memory needed. You are not responsible for making anything happen tonight. The body already knows how to rest if given a chance. This is not about concentration, but release. It's about walking slowly through small spaces that have no meaning except their quiet presence. A shelf with dust on the edge of it, an empty drawer pulled halfway out, a single nail hammered into wood for reasons unknown. Every image in what comes next is ordinary, unimportant, not meant to be remembered or felt deeply, just noticed and released. Each one is small enough not to matter, but big enough to hold your attention for just long enough before it fades. And you don't need to picture them clearly either. If the shape of a thing isn't coming, that's fine. The sound of its name passing through your mind is enough. The word itself becomes part of the drift, like dust on glass, barely visible but still there. You are not being asked to remember anything after this. Not even these words will matter tomorrow. But tonight, you can let yourself be held by them, by the rhythm of language and the soft turn from one image to another without reason or rhyme. There's no goal, no destination, just a quiet motion forward through the dark, like floating down a river with no current but still moving. So now, let go of what happened earlier today. Let it rest in your chest, not as something that must be changed, but as something you've already lived through and are now leaving behind. You don't need to forgive yourself right now. You just need to stop holding on. And so here we begin, not with a command, not even with an image, but with the space between breaths. A single bead of water falls from a faucet in a kitchen that isn't yours. It's somewhere else. Maybe a house you've never entered, maybe one you'll never visit. The room is small and dim. The light comes through a high window at the top corner, angled just so it touches the edge of a sink made of white ceramic with tiny cracks along the rim. You're not standing there. You don't even know who lives here, but your mind has found this place anyway. The faucet hasn't been shut all the way. Not quite. It's open by an inch or less, maybe two, enough for one drop to fall every few seconds. The sound isn't loud, just a soft plink that echoes once and then fades into stillness before the next. You hear it again. It lands in the sink with such quiet precision you almost miss it. But your body listens anyway. The way your neck tilts slightly, how your fingers press lightly against your thigh as if testing for vibration. The water is clear, cold. It doesn't matter where it came from, just that it's falling now and will keep falling until something changes. You don't know why this faucet remains open. Maybe someone forgot, or maybe they left it on like this on purpose, to mark time in a way no clock could. No one is watching the drop, but you are. And so are the other sounds. The quiet hum of refrigerator coils behind the wall, the faint creak of wood under pressure from heat or age, the slow release of air through cracks near the baseboard. You're not trying to understand any of this. You don't need to know who turned it on, why they didn't shut it off, whether anyone will come later and notice. It's just water falling, once then again. And now you notice how the drop doesn't make a splash. It simply lands flat against the surface of the sink, spreading outward in an almost perfect circle before collapsing inward like it never happened at all. You don't need to hold on to that shape. You can let it dissolve into silence between beats. There's a small glass jar sitting beside the sink, empty now, but its rim is smudged with fingerprints from someone long gone. Maybe they left in a hurry. Maybe they were just washing their hands and walked away mid-motion. The inside of the glass has a faint film, not dirty, not clean, just waiting. The water continues to fall. Each drop lands alone. It doesn't need anyone to see it. There's no one here but you, and even that isn't true because your presence is only imagined, drifting through walls you didn't cross. And now the faucet lets go of another drop. It falls slowly, like something falling in slow motion, even though nothing moved faster than usual. This time you notice how the surface tension holds it just before impact. It wobbles slightly as gravity takes over, then releases with that soft plink again. Then silence returns, long enough to hear your own breathing. You feel the weight of air in your chest, and the way your ribcage expands and settles without effort. The jar is still there. It's not empty, it just isn't full. And now you look at a different thing. A folded towel on a hook near the wall, white cotton with one corner frayed from use. Not clean enough to be perfect, but soft enough to dry hands with. The kind of towel that gets used every day and never quite feels new again. You don't know how long it's been hanging there, but you do notice the way the light hits its edge, just a thin line of shadow across one side. It doesn't need to be anything more than what it is. A cloth, resting on metal, waiting for someone who might never come back. There's no reason to remember this moment. No story built around it. You feel the slow shift in your shoulder, how it settles deeper into the mattress like a stone sinking through layers of soft earth. The towel on the hook doesn't move, but you imagine its weight, how it would press down if lifted just once, how the cotton might sigh under that motion. You don't need to lift it. It's already done its job in this place, drying hands that no longer exist here. There's a shelf beside the sink, a low one painted white with chips near the edge, like someone brushed against it too many times without meaning to. On it sits a single spoon, silver but dull from age, handle bent slightly where someone once set it down in haste. It's not for soup or tea. No bowl is nearby. The spoon rests as if waiting to be used by a hand that won't come back. You don't wonder why it's there. You just notice how the curve of its bowl catches no light, only holds shadow. Now you hear something else. A faint rustle from behind the wall, like cloth shifting on a drying rack someone left open in another room. It happens once and then stops. There's no reason for the sound to repeat, but your body still listens. Your breath slows. Your fingers unclench from their resting place on your thigh, letting go of something you didn't know you were holding onto. The water keeps falling, each drop a quiet punctuation in time that doesn't need explanation. You don't count them anymore. Not because there's no pattern, but because the pattern isn't important. You turn your attention to the floor beneath you. The way it tilts just slightly, not enough to notice unless you're lying still for long stretches. The wood is old, grain running in uneven lines like a map of slow movements over decades. One board near the corner has darkened more than the others, maybe from spilled water, maybe just from time. You don't know which it was, but you do know that this spot doesn't creak when stepped on. It's learned how to stay silent under pressure. You watch a single thread come loose from the hem of your shirt, not long enough to pull free but dangling low like a question mark in motion. You could reach for it, or let it be. It sways slightly with each breath you take. No other air current here, just your own soft movement through stillness. The thread is white at the base, frayed at the end, as if it gave up part of itself to stay attached. No one stitched it back in place. There's a small dent near the corner of the sink, a shallow circle worn into the porcelain from years of elbows resting there during long moments no one remembers. You don't know who pressed their arm down here first, or how many times they did before leaving. But you can almost feel the warmth that might have lingered in that shape, the ghost of pressure held too long to be forgotten. You notice a faint smell, not strong, not unpleasant, just the kind of scent left behind when something dry has been exposed to air for years. Dust on paper, the inside of an old drawer. It's not tied to any object you can see, but it's there, drifting through space like a memory that never belonged to anyone. A bead of water gathers at the edge of the faucet, smaller than before, trembling slightly as gravity pulls against it. You don't know how long it will stay suspended. It could fall in half a second or linger for minutes. The air around it is still. Even your breath slows enough that you might not be breathing at all. You think about the way silence doesn't always mean absence. It can mean presence too, like when sound stops and something else takes over. Anticipation, awareness, attention to what's already there but never noticed before. You're aware of a single point on your forearm where skin meets fabric, warmth held in place by the weight of your arm resting against the bed. There's a loose tile near the baseboard, A corner cracked slightly upward, just enough to catch dust. It doesn't move when you breathe, but if someone stepped on it, there'd be a small click, like the floor giving up its secret slowly. You notice how the light from the hall has dimmed, no longer sharp at the edge of the doorway, but soft and blurred now, as though filtered through something thin and worn. The room isn't dark yet, but it's not bright either. It exists in a quiet middle where edges blur and things become less defined. You hear a faint vibration, not from machinery or wind, but from deep in your own body, like the aftertaste of sound that never fully left the air. Maybe it was the faucet again, or maybe just your nerves settling into their resting frequency. There's a small circle on the wall, painted over once, then another time, leaving behind only faint traces of color beneath the newer coat. It doesn't stand out now, but you can see how someone tried to erase it entirely and failed. You think about hands, not your own, but ones that have touched this sink before. Fingers pressing into porcelain, nails catching on rough edges, palms flat against cold metal. You don't know who they were or why they left their mark, but you do notice how the water doesn't pool near where those hands once rested. It falls straight down. The small crack runs from one corner of the ceiling toward the wall, not wide enough to let in air, but long enough to be noticed if you look up at just the right angle. You don't know when it formed or whether it will grow, but for now, it's still there, like a line drawn without intent. You feel the weight of your left hand where it lies on top of your chest, the way it doesn't need to do anything but be. The skin is cool against your shirt. You don't move it. You let it rest like an offering. There's a single feather caught in the corner near the window, half hidden under a folded curtain, light as air, almost translucent where sunlight once touched it. It hasn't floated away, not because it was stuck, but because no wind came through this room for a long time. You hear something else, not sound exactly, but movement behind your ears, like blood flowing slowly through capillaries that don't need to rush anywhere. You don't need to follow it. It's already going where it needs to go. The spoon lies on the shelf again, same one from before, only now its handle is turned slightly toward you. Not because someone adjusted it, but because of how light hits it at this angle, making it seem like it's pointing somewhere. You don't know if that matters. There's a faint smudge near the edge of the towel on the hook, a mark from something oily or wet long ago. It doesn't look recent. Maybe it was left by a fingertip brushing against damp cotton, or perhaps just time passing without being noticed. You notice how your jaw has relaxed, no tension in the muscles, No clenching as if trying to hold on to thoughts that aren't here anymore. You don't need to remember anything to feel safe. A single drop of water lands in the sink again, but this time it doesn't make a plink. It splashes softly, like something falling into deep stillness where sound is absorbed instead of reflected. The ripple spreads slowly across the surface, then stops before reaching the edge. You watch how the air near the faucet seems to shimmer slightly, not from heat, but because of the way light bends around the droplet just as it falls. It's not much, a momentary flicker, but enough to make you notice that even in stillness, there is movement. There's a small curl of paper tucked beneath one corner of the shelf. White, folded once, edges frayed from time spent in dry air. You don't know what it says or why it was left behind. But you do know that someone placed it here and walked away without picking it up. Your breath comes easily now, not fast, not shallow, but steady like a river finding its way through soft earth. Your chest rises and falls with no effort. The weight of your body isn't pressing down anymore. It's just there, resting on the bed as if it has always known this shape. You notice how the space beneath the shelf holds a quiet dust, not thick enough to hide anything, but fine enough to catch light in tiny grains that drift only when air moves. Though no air does move here, not really. The motion of a single particle is all it takes for you to see where the beam from outside touches the floor just past the edge of the rug. It doesn't matter that it's faint, it's still there. And now you're watching how its shape shifts slightly as something near the ceiling releases a tiny bit of moisture. Not enough to fall, but enough to make the air heavier in one spot. Your right foot has settled into the curve of the bedsheet. No need for adjustment, no urge to shift. The fabric holds it where it is, wrapped around the arch like a quiet promise. You don't think about whether you should pull it back or stretch forward. You just let it stay, as if the act of remaining still were its own kind of progress. There's an old spool of thread on the windowsill, white cotton, worn thin at the edges where fingers once pulled too hard. The wooden core is smooth from years of turning and not used anymore. It doesn't matter that it hasn't been opened in a long time. What matters is that it's still here. No one came to take it. No hand reached for it when they passed by. It just stayed, waiting, or perhaps forgetting what waiting meant. You feel the slow rise and fall behind your eyes, not like pressure, but like something waking up inside you after being asleep itself. Not a thought exactly, not a memory either, but a presence that knows its own shape. You don't name it. You don't need to. It's just there, moving through where light no longer reaches. A small patch of tile near the baseboard has lifted slightly. just enough for you to see the gap between it and the floor. Not wide, but deep enough to hold a hair or a curl of paper that slipped by unnoticed. The space is too narrow for anything else to pass through, yet something once did. You don't wonder how long ago. You only notice now that it's still open, like an invitation you didn't know you were meant to accept. You hear the way your breath slows again, not because you're trying to slow it, but because there's no reason not to. It doesn't need to be measured or corrected. It just flows, like water finding a path through soil that remembers wetness long after rain has stopped. You don't listen for rhythm. You only let the quiet of your own movement fill the room where nothing else makes sound. A single thread from the curtain dangles just above the floor, a loose stitch pulled free during some unseen adjustment, now hanging like a question mark without language. It doesn't sway, not because it's stuck, but because even air has stopped breathing here. You don't pull at it or flick it away. You let it hang where gravity placed it, no need to fix what isn't broken. Your left hand still lies on your chest, not as a burden or a gesture, but simply as something that belongs there. The skin is cool now, almost numb in the way that only deep rest can make things feel. You don't wonder if you're warm enough. You just notice how it doesn't ache to be where it is. It's not trying to escape its place. A faint smell drifts through, something clean and old at once, like fabric washed too many times in water that no longer remembers being fresh. It isn't strong, but it lingers near the edge of your nose as if it were waiting for you to recognize it. You don't try to name it. You just let it float past, not wanting or needing anything from it. There's a tiny chip in the paint where the wall meets the floor, no larger than a fingernail, but enough to catch light at an angle that wasn't meant to be seen. It doesn't matter how long it's been there. What matters is that you see it now, not because it changed, but because your eyes are still enough to notice what was already there. You feel the weight of your eyelids, not heavy, not light, but exactly as they should be. They don't want to open. They don't want to close further either. They just rest where they are, like two small doors that have stopped needing a reason to stay shut or open. A single bead of condensation forms on the inside of the window pane, smaller than any drop you've seen before, trembling at the edge of what it could become. It doesn't fall right away. It hangs there, waiting for something that won't come. And then it slips, not with a sound, but with a quiet glide down glass so cold it holds its breath in place. Your fingers are still uncurled on your chest. No tension, no memory of gripping anything. They don't need to hold onto anything. The air is full of things that don't demand attention. The slow pulse behind your jaw, the way your ribs soften with each exhale, a warmth rising from beneath your collarbone like something remembering how to live without effort. There's an old key on the floor near the door, small, brass, not used for years, but still there. It doesn't belong to any lock you know. No one came looking for it. No hand picked it up when they passed by. You don't think about what it might open. You only see how its surface has worn down from being left in the dark too long. You notice how your breath moves differently now, not faster, not slower, but softer, like a sound that doesn't want to be heard even by you. It slips through silence like something already half remembered, slipping into memory before it's been called for. You don't reach after it. You only let it drift where the dark takes it. The faint line of dust collects along the base of the wall, just a thin trail, not enough to be noticed unless you're lying down and staring at one spot for too long. But now you are. And so you see how it bends slightly around a nail that's been pulled out, one that once held something no longer here. The hole is small but deep, like the space left behind after someone walked away without saying goodbye. Your shoulders have lowered. No effort involved, just surrender to gravity in a way they haven't had to for days. They don't drop because you want them to. They just stop trying to hold up anything that isn't already there. There's a single curl of paper under the sink this time, one corner folded inward like a secret kept by accident. It's not from any letter or note you've ever read. You don't know who dropped it, why they left it behind. But you do know that no one has touched it since. Not in years, maybe never. Your pulse is quiet now, not fast, not weak, just steady like water flowing through a narrow channel where nothing fights the current. You don't check it. You just let it be what it is. You don't need to count it or slow it down. It's already going where it needs to go. A shadow moves slowly across the floor, not from anything that entered, but because the light outside changed ever so slightly. The angle of the sun, or lack of it, shifted just enough to stretch a shape into view for a moment before letting it fade back into stillness again. You don't wonder what caused it. You only notice how even shadows can be gentle when they aren't rushing anywhere. Your hands are no longer on your chest. They've slipped down slightly, one resting near the edge of the bedsheet, the other flat against your thigh. They're not doing anything, not holding on, not pushing away. Just being like things that were never meant to carry weight but still found their place in the world. There's a small indentation in the carpet where something sat for too long, a faint hollow from a chair or stool that was moved, then forgotten. It doesn't matter what it was. What matters is how it remains even though nothing sits there anymore. The shape remembers. The fabric holds it. And you notice it only because your body has stopped moving enough to ignore such small signs of presence. You feel how your left ankle has uncurled slightly, not because you meant to let go, but because the muscle remembers a time before tension, before it had to brace for steps that never came. The skin there is warm and quiet enough to hear the way air moves just above it when you're still. There's no reason to shift, no need to adjust. You only notice how small the change feels, the release of one joint when everything else has stopped trying. A faint scent rises from a fold in your blanket, one corner tucked too close, trapping warmth and fabric dust, like something that once held heat but isn't meant to anymore. It's not unpleasant, not sweet, just a quiet presence, the kind that stays after someone has left the room and forgotten they were ever there. A thread of pale light slips through the gap beneath the door, thin, unbroken, almost liquid in how it lies on the floor without spilling into the rest of the space. It doesn't brighten anything. It doesn't try to be seen. It just is, and you watch it for so long that your eyes stop focusing and start letting go. There's a single bead of condensation forming at the edge of an old glass tumbler left on a shelf. No one uses this room. No hand has touched the glass in months. But still, water gathers where there's nothing to drink. It hangs there, trembling slightly as if afraid to fall. You don't know when it began. You only see how it refuses to break its hold. Your right palm lies flat against your thigh now, not pressed, not gripping, just resting like something that has finally found a surface it doesn't need to protect. The skin is soft and still. No calluses, no purpose, just the way weight settles when nothing asks for strength. A loose wire curls beneath the baseboard, a thin copper strand from some forgotten appliance, no longer connected, not even broken. It lies there like a question that was never spoken aloud. You don't wonder what it once powered. You only see how it bends in places where pressure used to be. Your toes have stopped twitching. No tiny reflexes, no restless impulses. They lie still against the edge of the bedsheet as if they've decided not to answer any signal that might come. The air between them feels cooler than on your other foot, not colder, just different. A quiet kind of difference. The curl of paper floats in a puddle under the sink. This time it's not folded inward, but slowly turning in water so shallow you can't tell if it's floating or sinking. It moves without wind, without touch, just something shifting because it has no other direction to go. You feel how your jaw is relaxed, not clenched, not tight, but simply letting the muscles dissolve into softness like wax left near a fire. No one told you to do this. No command came from anywhere. You only notice how much easier it feels when your teeth aren't pressing together. There's a patch of faded color on the wall where paint once peeled. Just 2 inches wide, not enough to be called damage, but clear enough that anyone who looked would know something had been there and then left behind. The shape is smooth now, flat, like it was never meant to last. Your breath slows without effort, no need to control it, no urge to change its rhythm. It just settles into a pattern so quiet it feels like it's not even happening. You don't watch it. You don't follow it. You only let it be the kind of movement that doesn't announce itself. A single feather drifts through the air. No one placed it here. No window opened to bring it in. But there it is, floating just above your pillow like a memory of flight that never had a reason. It moves slowly, without direction or goal. You don't wonder where it came from. You only see how light it is. Your fingertips are no longer touching anything. No sheet, no blanket, no part of yourself. But still they feel present, as if the space around them knows they were there before. Like an outline drawn in absence. A dent forms in the carpet near your knee, the kind made by sitting too long without standing up. Not deep, not sharp, just a soft impression left behind after weight had been held for longer than it needed to be. The fibers haven't bounced back. They've simply decided to stay like that. You don't hear anything outside anymore. Not the hum of distant traffic, not the creak of old wood in another house. You only feel how quiet it is when even silence has stopped making noise. A speck of dust drifts across your vision, smaller than a grain of sand, and you watch it fall through air that isn't moving at all. It doesn't land anywhere fast. It just floats, slow and deliberate, like it's choosing where to go before it decides. Your left hand is half beneath the sheet now, not tucked in, not hidden, but resting on top of your hip as if it found its place without being told. The fingers are relaxed, not curled, not spread, just there, as if they've forgotten what purpose means. A small crack runs through a ceramic plate that's been left upside down in a cupboard. No one has picked it up in years. No one remembers why it was stored so carefully. It sits quietly with the break visible only when light hits it at just the right angle. Your breath doesn't rise and fall like waves. It moves more like water pooling in a basin where nothing flows out or in. You don't count your inhales. You don't track how long you hold them. You simply notice that each one is softer than the last, as if it's learning to be quiet. A single thread of wool has come loose from an old sweater, left on a chair, folded neatly for no reason, and now hangs just above the floor, swaying ever so slightly in air too still to stir anything else. It doesn't catch on anything. It doesn't pull away. It only exists where it is. Your right foot rests flat against the edge of the mattress. No pressure, no resistance. Just letting gravity do its job without complaint. The heel presses down gently, not hard, just enough to feel connection to something real. A drop of water falls from a faucet that's been left open in an empty house. No one is there to turn it off. No hand reaches for the handle. It hits the sink with a sound so soft you can't be sure if it happened or not. Then another one follows, and then another. Like time itself has slowed just enough to let each drop fall without rushing. Your eyes are closed, yes, but they don't feel like shut doors. They feel more like curtains drawn over light that no longer needs to shine through. You don't imagine the dark. You only accept it as a space where nothing needs to be known. A single silver nail lies on the floor near the baseboard. A tiny piece of metal, not used for years, forgotten in a place where tools are never returned once they're left behind. It reflects light weakly, like something that remembers being part of something else but no longer knows what it was. Your fingers have stopped feeling anything, neither warm nor cold, neither tense nor relaxed. They just exist, as if they've given up on needing to know their own position in space. A small hole has formed in the edge of a window pane, a hairline crack that doesn't let wind through but lets light shift oddly where it passes. You don't think about fixing it. You only notice how it changes the way shadows move across the floor when they pass over it. Your breath slips into stillness like something sinking slowly into water without resistance. It doesn't stop. It just becomes quieter, less urgent, like a sound that's found its home and decided not to leave. It's been so long since you've thought about anything in particular. You don't even remember when the last worry passed through your mind. Not because it was blocked out, but because nothing has pulled it back into focus. A thin line of moss grows along a crack in an old stone step. No one planted it. No hand ever watered it. But there it is, soft and green, thriving where moisture lingers just long enough to survive. A single drop of water settles in the center of a shallow puddle, trembling slightly with each new fall, then stilling again after it lands, as if learning how to be part of something bigger than itself. You don't wait for the next one. You only feel that moment between drops, when all sound is gone and the air holds its breath like someone about to whisper a secret they've decided not to tell. Your shoulders have slipped lower into the mattress than they were minutes ago. No effort behind it. No intention of adjusting. They simply let go of the weight they'd been carrying without knowing it was there. The fabric around them shifts, just enough to mark where warmth used to be before the body gave up on needing to hold it. The patch of dust floats in a sliver of light that cuts through a blind seam, no larger than a fingertip's width, caught between two layers of shade and shadow. It drifts sideways without direction or goal. You don't try to follow it. You only notice how it moves like something trying not to be seen. The small pebble lies at the edge of a dry riverbed, a stone that doesn't belong to any path, no longer shaped by water but still holding its memory in the grain. It's been here so long it no longer remembers what came before or where it might go next. You don't wonder how it got there. You only see how still it is. Your jaw has unclenched completely. No tension behind teeth. No hint of clenching that was never noticed until now. The muscles have dissolved into the quiet like salt in water. You don't try to keep them relaxed. They simply stop trying to stay tense. A single blade of grass pushes through a crack between two flagstones. A tiny green thread rising where nothing should grow. Not even because it wants to, but just because it can. It doesn't reach for sun or soil. It only exists in the place where light and stone meet. Your hands are no longer near your body. They're not far away either. They simply exist where they landed when you stopped moving, palm up on the blanket, fingers slightly curled like someone who forgot what they were supposed to be doing but didn't want to move. The faint tremor runs through a wire that's been left hanging from an old light fixture, a thin metal strand unused for years. It vibrates just once when air passes over it. No wind, no hand, and then stills again like nothing happened at all. Your thoughts don't stop being thoughts. They only grow thinner, less dense, less urgent. You don't chase them away or pull them back. You let each one drift across your mind like a leaf floating down a slow stream with no current to guide it. A single bead of condensation forms on the inside of a window pane, the kind that shows up in the cold hours before dawn. It doesn't fall immediately. It gathers slowly, forming a tiny globe at the edge of glass where warmth once lingered longer than it should have. Your breath is no longer something you think about. It's just there, like air around you. You don't control it. You don't wish it to change. You only notice that each inhalation takes less effort than the last, as if the body has decided not to strain anymore. The corner of an old book lies splayed on a shelf. Pages open but not read, spine cracked from being left too long in one position. The ink is faded, the paper brittle, but it remains where it was placed, no longer needing to be touched or turned. Your fingers begin to feel less like hands and more like something that has forgotten how to name itself. They do ache. They don't tingle. They simply exist, curled gently into space as if they've stopped believing in their own shape. The tiny spider thread stretches between two loose bricks on a wall, thin enough to disappear in daylight, but visible now in the quiet dark. It doesn't support anything.